Smoky skies taking over. We've been working with them yesterday, and really this is the bulk and the brunt of it that we've seen all summer long and even into the spring. Of course, the wildfires off towards our east, bringing us a smoky view on our downtown sky cam. Your air quality index is at 179, so that is fairly high. And you can see, of course, that we can't see all that far. Tracking down the mighty Maumee, it's really hard to even pick up there by the elevator. So it's going to be, well, hazy even as we go into the afternoon. Now, as far as the air quality index, you're going to find for us, we are in the red. We are in that unhealthy zone. Some of us are around that 179 up to 185 range. So we have seen even a little bit of a climb come in on the data. We did even have some locations in southeast Michigan earlier this morning that were into the fuchsia, that very unhealthy category. So if you have maybe that stuffy nose, maybe some nose congestion, itchy eyes, those symptoms of your allergies, it's probably because of the smoke. And that's probably maybe why you're not feeling 100%. So it's just like pollen, except it's smoke. It gets in our nose, it causes that irritation, and then we just don't feel 100%. Of course, those in our populations who are maybe in the elderly or very sensitive to these conditions, you're going to want to stay inside and limit your time outdoors, and of course, make sure you're taking care of yourself, because a lot of us are going to be working with these smoky conditions. Here locally, you're going to find that we are into that unhealthy category, and even to our friends to the west, east, and all around us are seeing those reduced air qualities as far as the index is concerned. Now, as far as the weather alerts, we did finally get that air quality alert for all of Northwest Ohio and into Southeast Michigan, but Southeast Michigan and Indiana had it yesterday. Either way, we've all been working with these conditions that have been very smoky, and obviously then not the best of air quality. As we look at our hour-by-hour forecast with the smoke, we had that low pressure system that brought us rain the last couple of days. And that counterclockwise rotation, it's bringing that smoke in from the north and swinging it in. So that's why we've really seen kind of the brunt of it late yesterday and even through this morning. But as we go through the afternoon today, it is still going to be kind of that medium range as far as the smoke, but you can see some relief further north, and hopefully we will start to see that lessen just a little bit. It'll take a while for some improvements, but we will start to see that wind changing a little bit and allowing us to have some, well, easier breathing, we could say, and even not so cloudy of a view, or smoky, I should say. It looks cloudy though, just because of all that smoke. Now, as far as our sunset, that is still going to be around 9:12 p.m. this evening, and we are losing over 21 seconds of daylight today. But the reason I wanted to give you that sunset time is because at 9:12, that sun will be going down, but before then, you might be able to see kind of those bright orange, bright red suns. A lot of you have been sharing those photos with us on the WTOL 11 weather app. So don't forget, you can snap that photo, share that with us. All you got to do, have the app, give it a download. You'll also get the heads up though that we have some heat coming. So when you use that daily tab, you'll be able to see the 90s that are on the way. Plus you'll get updates on maybe some forecasts for those fireworks displays that we're going to have coming up here in the next couple of days. Now, across the country, we can see some rain that could bring us some relief. That's towards our west. We have a system off in towards Missouri, and then also into northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and even further west, we have a little energy that's building into the Pacific Northwest. But here at home, things are quiet. We would actually be seeing quite a bit of sun if we didn't have those smoky conditions. So hopefully we do see some improvements and can pick up on that sun later today. I was talking about those 90s, and at least today we are expecting to get closer to those 80s, but we are talking 90s for tomorrow, upper 80s through the longer weekend, and even by the 4th we're going to be looking at 91. So July is here, and it is saying hello with some big heat. So we're going to have 90s for much of next week. Air conditioning, if it isn't going already, it's definitely going to be spinning, as we'll have some humidity to go with the heat. Now, on average, we should be seeing our highs into the mid 80s at this point into the season. So we're getting kind of back to where we should be, and then we'll have that bigger heat coming up in our forecast. Normal lows should be into the 60s, and we've kind of been hanging out there a lot lately. I also wanted to highlight, though, our record back in 2012, so not that long ago. That record high was set at 103 degrees, of course, on this date in June. So some big heat back in 2012. That was also a year we had some very dry conditions, and we've also had dry conditions here. So, of course, that's why we're going to be watching to see if the rain is going to be okay as far as those 4th of July fireworks displays. I am watching still the rain chance, even some thunderstorm chances for Saturday and Sunday. The timing timing of that, the location of that. Have the app. We're going to be keeping an eye on that closely as it gets a little bit near in that forecast. Upper 80s, though, expected all through the holiday weekend, even eyeing those lower 90s as we get into Tuesday for those who do have parades. Plan on it to be hot and plan on some partly sunny skies. Now for today, though, it's still smoky. So heat, though, trying to return as highs are going to be into the mid 80s. You're going to find on our extended forecast, we have the dry weather here to start, and then we do have that shower and storm chance as we go into the weekend. So maybe not ideal timing for those who are going to be camping. That's why you got to have the app. Make sure you can get any alerts if necessary from the system. Highs in the upper 80s, lower 90s as we get settled into next week. Some sunny and dry days to come, but you can see the pattern switch does allow us to have a little bit of rain and some dry weather all coming in that 10-day forecast.